My wife, Sarah, tossed out the joke during a quiet dinner at home. "We're in an open relationship," she said with a playful smirk, her eyes glinting over her glass of wine. I laughed, assuming it was just her teasing sense of humor, but the words lingered in my mind. We'd been married for 7 years, and while our relationship wasn't perfect, it was steady, built on trust, routine, and shared dreams. Yet, her comment sparked a curiosity I hadn't expected. Was she serious? Did she want to test the waters of something new? That night, as we cleaned the dishes side by side, I couldn't shake the thought. I decided to call her bluff, not out of spite, but to see how far this game would go. The next day, I mentioned Sarah's joke to her friend, Mia, during a casual coffee meetup. Mia was close to both of us, a vibrant woman who always seemed to know more about Sarah's thoughts than I did. "She said that?" Mia asked, her eyebrows shooting up with a grin. "Well, if she's offering, I'm game." Her response caught me off guard. I expected a laugh, maybe a roll of her eyes, but instead, she leaned forward, her tone half serious, half teasing. My heart raced, not from attraction, but from the sudden realization that this could spiral beyond a simple jest. I mumbled something vague and changed the topic, but Mia's words echoed in my head all day. Back home, I didn't tell Sarah about Mia's reaction. Instead, I watched her closely, trying to decode her intentions. Was her joke a hint at some unspoken desire? Over the next few days, I noticed small things. How she laughed a little too long at Mia's texts, how she seemed more distracted than usual. My mind spun scenarios, each one more unsettling than the last. I wasn't jealous, exactly, but I felt like I was standing on the edge of something I didn't fully understand. I decided to test the waters further, not by confronting her, but by playing along in my own way. I started dropping subtle hints about freedom and exploration, curious to see how she'd react. At a weekend barbecue, I saw my chance. Mia was there, chatting animatedly with Sarah near the grill. I joined them, casually mentioning how open we were to new experiences as a couple. Sarah's eyes widened, but she didn't correct me. Instead, she played along, tossing out a vague, "Oh, you know us, always up for adventure." Mia smirked, clearly enjoying the banter, and for a moment, I felt like I was in control of the narrative. But as the night wore on, I caught them whispering, their heads close together, and doubt crept in. Were they humoring me, or was this becoming something real? The following week, I couldn't stop overthinking. I wanted to confront Sarah but didn't know how to start without sounding paranoid. So, I took a different approach. I invited Mia over for dinner, framing it as a casual get-together. The evening was light at first, filled with laughter and old stories. But as the wine flowed, the conversation veered back to Sarah's joke. Mia, bold as ever, said, "So, are we actually doing this open relationship thing, or what?" Sarah froze, her fork hovering mid-air. I waited, my pulse pounding, for her to laugh it off. Instead, she looked at me, her expression unreadable, and said, "What do you think?" The question hung between us like a challenge. I realized then that my attempt to call her bluff had backed me into a corner. I didn't want an open relationship. I wanted clarity, reassurance that our bond was still solid. But saying that felt like admitting defeat in a game I'd unwittingly started. So I shrugged and said, "Maybe we're just joking around." Mia laughed, breaking the tension, but Sarah's silence spoke louder. That night, as we lay in bed, I asked her outright if she'd meant anything by her comment. She sighed, admitting it was just a silly quip, but my probing had made her wonder if I was the one wanting more. The next morning, we talked properly. No games, no hints. Sarah confessed she'd sensed my unease and played along to see how far I'd take it. Mia, it turned out, was just being her provocative self, enjoying the chance to stir the pot. I felt a mix of relief and embarrassment. I'd turned a harmless joke into a week-long spiral of doubt, all because I couldn't just ask Sarah what she meant. We agreed to be more open about our feelings, no matter how small they seemed. The idea of an open relationship was firmly off the table, not because we judged it, but because it wasn't us. Life returned to normal, but the experience left a mark. Sarah's joke, Mia's quick agreement, and my own overthinking had shown me how easily assumptions could unravel trust. We laughed about it later, calling it our week of almost chaos. But deep down, I knew I'd learned something vital. Love thrives on honesty, not games. Mia, still our friend, never brought it up again, though her knowing smirk at the next barbecue told me she hadn't forgotten. As for Sarah and me, we're stronger now, our bond tempered by a brief, absurd dance with a possibility we never truly wanted.